Thank you for supporting me here on Patreon. This is a part of the ongoing series in financial education. I'm going to make a couple of videos about insurance. One of the things that is covered when they talk about the wealth gap between black and white is that they say that black people don't have any instruments, any paper instruments, any stocks, bonds, and insurance. Insurance is really easy to learn and understand. So first we're going to start on the super easy thing, car insurance. Something that a lot of people are supposed to have by law. I'm not going to get into whether or not that should be illegal to require somebody to purchase something just simply because they're a citizen, or the politics of it and behind it. So let's take a look here. What is car insurance? This video is intended for the people who support me on Patreon. Thank you. Here we go. Nobody ever thinks it's going to happen to them. But the simple fact is that car accidents happen every 18 seconds in the United States. Even the most careful drivers can find themselves involved in one. You cannot predict the future, but you can prepare with auto insurance for the vehicles in your household. In most states, it's mandatory that drivers have at least minimum coverage auto insurance, which is why it's important to find out your state's minimum requirements. But many drivers choose more than the minimum coverage requirements in order to protect themselves to a greater degree. What is auto insurance? Simply put, auto insurance is a safety net. It is a contract that you have with an insurance company in which you agree to pay a premium, and in the event of the accident, the company agrees to pay for your covered damages as outlined in your specific insurance auto policy. It's important to familiar yourself with the terms premium and deductible when shopping for auto insurance. An insurance premium is the amount of money your insurance charges you for a certain policy. Your deductible is the amount of money that you are responsible for paying when damages occur as a result of an accident. For example, if you have a $500 in damages as a result of an accident and a $100 deductible on your policy, you are responsible for paying $100 in the total damages. If you are responsible for causing an accident or damages to other vehicles, your insurance generally covers the cost of repairs, legal fees, and medical coverages for those who suffered injuries in the accident. Insurance policies also cover costs incurred when your car is stolen or vandalized by women. Here are the types of auto insurance coverage. Generally, auto policies include several different types of coverage, all of which may be priced differently. Bodily injury liability. This type of coverage pays for medical bills, lost wages or income, pain and suffering, and even funeral expenses for those injured in an accident where you were legally responsible for their injuries. This coverage also pays for the legal and court costs to defend you in a covered lawsuit. This type of coverage is required in most states. Property damage liability. If you are responsible for causing an accident, you are legally held responsible for repairs to another person's vehicle or property. Property damage coverage. Anything you hit with your vehicle, such as a street lamp, fence, or building. This type of coverage is required in most states. Collision. This type of auto insurance coverage pays for damages to your car as a result of a collision with another vehicle. Even if you are at fault for causing an accident, this type of coverage will reimburse you for the cost of fixing your car once you have paid for the out-of-pocket deductible amount. If you are not at fault, your insurance company can seek reimbursement from another driver to cover the cost of repairs to your vehicle. Collision coverage is optional in all states. However, if your automobile is financed, your bank and lending institutions will require you have this coverage. Comprehensive. This coverage protects you for losses due to hazards not caused by a collision with another vehicle. This includes damages that are a result of theft, vandalism, fires, falling objects, earthquakes, and storms, or contact with animals such as deer. Comprehensive coverage is optional in all states. Though, like collision coverage, if your vehicle is financed, your bank or lending institution will require you to have this coverage. Uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage. This policy protects you and other passengers in your automobile if you are injured in an accident by a motorist who is uninsured and held legally responsible for your injuries. It pays the medical expenses and related expenses you have incurred up to the coverage limits you select. Auto insurance exists to protect you and your property, so be prepared by making sure that your vehicle is properly insured, because the simple fact is, accidents do happen. I will be going into a little bit more detail. Here's a question for my patrons on Patreon. Do you believe that auto insurance is an asset? Do you believe that auto insurance is an asset? Is it financial paper? And depending on your responses, I'll answer on Patreon. Thank you all for watching this video, and thank you for supporting me.